What if you're the only one on your unit that chooses kindness? That's good. That means you're the standard and not the exception. In this video, I want to speak to the nurse who chooses to lead with love, like I do, even when it's not popular, it's not noticed, or it is not even returned. By the end of this video, I feel like you'll be confident standing in your values, understanding how your consistent kindness transforms the whole culture, and know how to protect your peace while keeping your heart open. Let's talk about it. The cost of becoming what you hate. Well, I know that's real talk because the temptation to harden when you're surrounded by rudeness, gossip, bad attitudes, cold shoulders is so tempting to shut down and match that energy. You know, there's a wonderful passage that says evil communication corrupts great manners. So we must be careful what we allow to enter into our eye gates, our ear gates, and definitely what comes out of our mouths. But the true power, your true power, is in saying or staying aligned with who you really are. I love this because I have a brand of love and I am going to love you in spite of it all. So when kindness feels lonely, you hold the door and no one says thank you. When you advocate for a patient and nobody notices you, or you go out of your way to be helpful with a peer and then you get brushed off. But guess what? Love is a seed and seeds don't sprout overnight. Matter of fact, I have to share a story with you. This is when I went from being a nurse to assistant nurse manager. And, you know, I walked around and I said, that was my big thing, my mantra, my intention for every shift I come in. I walk around and do my rounds and say, you are loved and appreciated, and just greet everybody and just welcome them into the space. And I remember this one person, I used to speak to her like literally every day. Good morning, you are loved and appreciated. And she would be so upset with me for speaking at her. She would turn her head like that. She would bat her eyes. She would do all of the different things, but I stayed consistent. I said, good morning, so-and-so, you're loved and appreciated. And I continued to do that. Guess for how long I did that? A whole year. Yes, a year. I know you're probably thinking, like, I can't believe that I would have told her off. And I didn't. I felt in my spirit that I needed to continue to love her beyond where she was. And I did it for like almost a year. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, she comes in my office and then she starts talking to me as if we've been talking the whole time. It was the most bizarre thing, but I didn't even mess with it, honestly, because the love that I intentionally planted, the seeds that I intentionally planted, definitely sprouted. Yes, it had to take me some self-restraint and self-control to be able to navigate that. But I just wanted to show you the power of planting love seeds. And so, okay, let's continue. I had to share that story with you. Let's talk about the A in my heart framework, and it's authenticity. Authenticity. The A is authenticity. And this is who I am. Affirming your inner brand. This is so important. I affirm my inner brand. I have been working on my brand for literally probably the last 20 years. When you know your brand is compassion, you will not let the culture contaminate you, a person contaminate you, or cause you to get out of character. Now, this comes with work. Don't get me wrong. You respond, you don't absorb. You observe, but don't absorb. One of the leaders that I used to have, she used to say that all the time, and it's so true. I say I walk in undisturbed composure because I don't allow the words or the culture to get on the inside of me unless I'm burned out, and that's where you got to shift it. But here's something that I want you to do. This is just a little interactive tool that you can do with yourself, and you want to create your I choose identity. So here's some prompts that you can use, and then you can journal in it. I choose kindness because, and then you put the rest of it. I choose love because, dot, 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 dot. I choose light because, dot, 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 dot. And what you wrote, you want to read it aloud before you even start your shift to ground yourself in your why. I choose love because love contends with another person for their highest good, right? So, very important work. See, that's the inner work that we need to do so that the external world you can have a better experience with your external world when you have done the work inside. And then what about the T in transformation? Your presence is the culture shift. Your presence is the culture shift. So if you come in and you are not grounded, you are angry, you are upset about something, everybody will feel it. When somebody walks in and they're angry, they don't have to say a word, but everybody can feel that they're angry. So every small act of integrity weakens the grip of toxicity in the workplace. Do you hear that? I have to repeat what I wrote here. Every small act of integrity, it weakens the grip of toxicity in the workplace. It is so easy to get sucked into the vapor of the toxicity, but the real impact is consistent love. So a new grad who says, "You were the only one who checked on me." That's the act of love. A patient who whispers, "Thank you for seeing me." That's the act of love and kindness. Or a teammate who starts to soften because of your grace. That is an act of love. Well, I believe that this is such an important topic, especially in the world that we are living in. We are living in a world that is so polarized by politics and just all of the things. I can't even name all the things. Matter of fact, they probably will drain my energy if I try to even name them all. But you have a choice in this because kindness is contagious. Just like the example that I gave you of the nurse that didn't speak to me for like almost over a year. Not that she didn't speak to me, but she would not engage at all. It was more of a, I'm ignoring you. I am not honoring you. I am not going to listen, that kind of thing. Or just somebody that really shows that they don't really like you, but they don't say it with words. I still loved her anyway. I loved her beyond. I loved her enough to contend with her, and my contending with her was more so just keep speaking to her. I don't know what's going on in her life, but she may need something. There's something missing, something broken in her life that she needs something extra. So I wanted to be the one that continued to represent the brand so that you can be the light in darkness, the light in institutional darkness. You can be the shift that your culture needs in your unit. You have the power to be that shift, and I don't want you to forget that. Now, if you're committed to being the light, even when it's hard, I want to drop me a heart in the comments and let me know that I'm in. And if you don't want to, you can put that in the comments too. I would love to know from you. For you, what does kindness look like for you? I kind of told you about me, and I know I have a different personality than everyone else, but I would love to know, what does kindness mean to you as a nurse, as a human being? And also, why don't you do me a favor and make sure you like and subscribe and share this with another nurse who is the light in your life, the ones that are really being that kindness. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for choosing to love, choosing kindness. In this next video that I'll talk about, I'll be unpacking soulful leadership and how to lead with heart, even if you're not the manager. Well, until then, remember, you don't need a title to lead. You just need the courage to stay kind. Stay true to who you are. Don't allow the environment to cause you to change, to cause your brand to weaken. Okay, so let me just do this quick value recap. Well, I actually gave you some permission to stay soft, even in the hard spaces. No matter what anybody else tells you, you can stay soft in hard spaces. I got to just put a pin right there because I had a leader that told me, you know what, you should stop saying you love and appreciate people. And I refused to accept that because I wanted to bring that into my environment. You also learned a kindness identity that you can anchor in or before your shift. And I would do it afterwards as well, because a lot of times we do collect the trauma from the day. Language to see kindness as power, not passivity, and proof that compassion can shape culture, one heartbeat at a time. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.